Hi, I'm Randy Jackson. I coached for over 30 years. Our staffs did like most of you guys and tracked everything we could: strength, speed, attendance, grades. But the one thing that always frustrated me was the things that matter most, the intangibles, the culture. Those were the things that were hardest to track and quantify. This is why I created OVR. It's a live scoreboard for your culture. It combines the measurable performance, speed, strength, and GPA with the intangibles that we talk about every day but are so hard to measure. So, for the first time, coaches can actually reinforce and reward those behaviors daily. Athletes can see the rankings, earn badges. That's OVR. It's not just another app, it's daily competition. Your athletes are ready for OVR. Are you? So, guys, thanks for being on here. I'm going to dedicate this episode to a former player of mine named Cooper Jones, who had brain surgery yesterday for a grapefruit sized tumor. And all indications are he came out of it very good. I drove to Houston and hung out with his family a little bit. I coached Cooper's older brother, Tyler. Cooper's 33, Tyler's 37. This was when Coach Finney and I were in Lone Oak together. Just a great family. Cooper's dad, Mike, was the filmer for Lone Oak, but he was a construction guy. And he used to film up there, and they had a little thing over the filmers.
Canopy.
Thank you. I said to Mike one day, I said, what would it cost us to build another level on our press box? I think we paid 3,200. He built it. I paid $3,200 for the supplies, and we had a double-decker press box in Lone Oak. And people in town, Mike and I were laughing about this yesterday. I may have had bets whether that thing was going to collapse or not. Anyway, Mike is one of those real parents. Cooper was a great player. If you're a praying person, Cooper Jones, he came through surgery last night. He even FaceTimed me last night about 11 o'clock, and I was sound asleep. I think the surgery went really well. The family, I'm sure, would appreciate your prayers. We got Ben McLaughlin on here from Louisiana Christian, Coach Pickard from Eau Claire, Wisconsin. We got Brian Herman from Corpus Christi, Ryan Porter from Grandview, Texas, Coach Collins from Louisiana. This is an early morning session, but Ben, before we start with Coach Finney, you were talking about the president of LCU being amazing. When I thought we got to start our podcast with this. For any coach listening to this, what is the most important thing you must ask when you take a new job? I'm going to try to steer you here, but it's about administration, right? Don't take a job if you don't have a great soup or principal, correct?
I was telling them that our president, the first thing he does when he meets with our parents when they report next Monday is he's going to tell them to pull their phones out and he gives them his personal cell phone. You're talking about the president of our university, and he knows that's just the type of guy he is, and it makes a connection with our parents. And so it's pretty awesome.
So LC in Ben's second year won the conference title. Could y'all have won the conference title without having a great president?
But no, I would say coaches win games, administrations win championships. Something I heard. I think it's
Yeah.
true.
So my 2 cents here, because sometimes I get questions about what should you ask in an interview, and I think here's one thing you have to Sherlock Holmes is whether you're admin, because I've worked at places where they wanted me to win games, but really without them. Your budget, good luck to you. Win enough games that our parents aren't mad, but we don't really want to get in the foxhole with you to help you win championships.
Hey, Randy, if Ryan Porter don't buy me a beer at coaching school, I'm going to give his phone number out to everybody in Grandview. I helped him out in the playoffs, so he owes me.
That sounds really fair. Really fair.
By the way, I got some more of our staff here. Coach Inch, our trainer.
Good morning, Zebra coaches.
Good morning.
I see a coach's name tag back there from Cowboy Stadium, Dallas Stadium. Yeah, that's cool. Coach Porter's a real good friend of mine, and he's at Grandview in near Fort Worth, and they played for a state title last year. If I invite you to sit in on one of these live sessions, you're with some people who know what they're doing. Coach Finney is a real good friend of mine. I told him at a funeral the other day that there aren't many people in this world who I really have much relationship with, but he's one of them. Ryan, I would be a pallbearer at your funeral. No problem. If you're wondering, I'm going to get cremated, guys, so you won't have to do any of that stuff. Josh is the head coach in Winnsboro High School in Northeast Texas, and he's a member of Fast and Wide. He's done some arena leadership stuff, and he presented to our Fast and Wide coaches a couple of years ago. Coach Finney presented to Fast and Wide about how they practice 2 or 3 years ago, Josh. We were in North DeSoto, basically Shreveport, Louisiana, and talked about how they practice for about 80 minutes. Most of y'all probably think he's at some big school with a two platoon, but he's not. He's at a school with 400 and something in high school, and they practice both sides of the ball. And so we're going to get into that this year. Josh, thanks for doing this. I know we're getting close to fall camp and I'm running out of time, so thanks for making time. But tell us how long you've coached. Give us a little bit of your history.
27 years. Got to go back to my hometown and coach here in Winnsboro. This will be my 8th year here. Been a head coach for 15 years. Got over 150 wins. Had some really good athletes. Been able to work for some really good coaches. So I just took a little bit from all those different guys and mixed and matched all of it together. And that's who we are.
If y'all aren't good at math, 15 years and 150 wins, that's pretty good average. So he knows what he's doing. And I was one of those guys for a lot of my career that worried about was someone outworking us. I would even look on social media. What was someone doing? When did they start summer workouts? And so I got better when Coach Porter and I coached together at North Forney. I was better about it by then. Early in my career, we were working 7 days a week. When Coach Finney and I coached at Lone Oak, we practiced 2 hours and 45 minutes on Monday and Tuesday. Had too many plays, had to get the kicking game in. But like you and I have talked, the players love it less than us.
Yeah.
So tell us, when did you start this practice philosophy? How long do you go?
We've been doing it for about 7 years. Even on a normal school day, a Monday practice going to be an hour and 20 minutes. Tuesday's going to be an hour and 15, and Wednesday's going to be an hour and 10. And that includes stretching, water. That includes everything. We're not going to be out there longer than that. I think those kids want to know that they make plans. They are creatures of habit. They have to know when they're going to get out. I don't think you can surprise them with a long practice. I don't think you can surprise them. Hey, we're going to go team until we get the. I don't think you can do those things. A lot of those kids are playing because they like one of you guys or they love one of you guys. They don't love football. They love being around you. But once you force them to be out there for 3 hours, you can't have a kid who loves being around you and likes some football. He don't get to play no more. I think that's where a lot of kids' numbers are dwindling in programs. And it's our job to love it. I just need them to like it for about a few months.
Let me reiterate this because I think it's really important. When I was playing back in the day, I think we loved it more because we didn't have so much stuff. There wasn't that much else to do in Tenaha, Texas, or Winnsboro, Texas, or wherever. In fact, I grew up in a town, I graduated with 33. And back then, guys, in the 80s, if you didn't play football in Tenaha, Texas, people were going to question your manhood. This is a true story. I'm about a junior in high school, and this kid moves in from Dallas, and he's pretty good size. And he doesn't play football, and we might think he's not heterosexual. And he ended up honestly marrying my girlfriend. So I think there is some humor in this, but I just remember me and my three buddies going, "What's up with Daryl? You know, he doesn't play football." Well, no one's saying what's up with Daryl anymore. I mean, it's just not that there's too many other things to do. And so here's what Josh just said. I think we got to unravel for sure is players don't play because they love football anymore. They play because they love maybe a coach, hopefully, but they play because they like football and, I guess probably too, being on the team. And
I agree that you still got some kids. You still got some soldiers like that kid that was just in Porter's window a while ago. That kid's a dude, but you've got to put some kids around him that don't love it as much as he does and still be successful. It's hard to find 22 of them like that.
Okay.
They might have 22 of them. They played in the finals.
Yeah, that's a good point. Here's why I don't think soccer will ever be huge here. I've enjoyed the World Cup, but until take a job with good admin, Well, also take a job where grandpa played football. When little Tommy is sitting at the table, daddy and grandpa need to say, you need to fight hard for the black and white or something. I don't know soccer generations now, but until dad and grandpa played, you have towns like Grandview, Texas, where they went 13-3 last year, so they have a standard to uphold. Tell me this, Josh. If you told me today I got to practice in 80 minutes, I might be terrified. So, how'd you come to this conclusion and how did you have the guts to do it?
Started having, at this level I'm at, we got guys wearing a bunch of hats, and I got a guy that's helping me that's really his favorite sport might be another sport, and he's out there, but I'm trying to get something with him. But heck, I can't make one of my other football dudes have to go be the assistant softball coach or assistant basketball or help with something else.
How did you have the guts to
Oh,
to
I've
say we're going
always
to practice 80 minutes?
I've always been an outside the box guy. I don't mind doing stuff that's different, being creative, coming up with a new way. That wasn't the problem. It just a matter of, can you get in what you need in? I don't care if it's 80 or 100 or 120 minutes. Sometimes you have a period during the practice and you feel like you just wasted an entire athletic period because it's bad. If you don't have those feelings, you're able to sleep and it don't bug you at all. But
Yeah.
I think what it allows it to do, it eliminates all the cool uncle drills that are on TikTok from any of your coaches. It eliminates any wasted time. It eliminates a bunch of verbiage and a bunch of small talk, because if you don't have a whole lot of time, you're fisting to get meat and potatoes, and you're not fisting to dress it up. It ain't fisting to be fancy, but the time that you're out there is fisting to be like, there's not a bunch of wasted stuff and wasted time to do to try to pass time.
So let's break down this for everybody. How many run schemes do y'all have?
We're going to have 6 run schemes, but we're only going to have 3 that week. We're trying to concentrate on a big 3, depending on what we have. Just trying to get all the kids in the right spots where they're not wasting any time. I'd never have a defensive lineman that will turn around and he's a backup D lineman. Hey, get over here and be this guard right now and be this tackle, and y'all walk through that. If my D line coach needs somebody, I'm sending the JV offensive line down there. I'm not going to have a D lineman play O line. I'm not going to have an offensive lineman ever line up and be a 3 technique over here. I want the guys that are being specialists, they need to specialize and get a lot of it. I don't care if you're a JV kid or a varsity kid, but man, you get really stinking good at what you're doing. You just need to do it over and over and over and over.
Okay, so let's go through this where someone doesn't have to listen to this 30 minutes to get into your schedule. I want to know exactly how you do this. You have an athletic period in Texas. What time's your athletic period?
10:30 to 11:30.
On Monday, what are y'all doing from 10:30 to 11:30?
Look, varsity's going to lift weights for 30 minutes, have a 15-minute meeting, and then go outside in the 15 minutes. We're fixing to go out and walk through the 15 minutes to exactly show them, for the ones who can't pay attention during a meeting, that don't understand whiteboard talk, they need to see it.
Yeah.
And so we present it 2 different ways on Monday.
So they're lifting 30, and then you're going to give them, here's our game plan.
Yes.
Is it just offense? Is it offense in one room and defense in the other?
Yes.
Okay.
It's split.
Okay, let me unravel this. Y'all's kids do play both ways. They do have 2 positions, an O and a D position, but you call it major and minor. I didn't do a good job of this. Explain major and minor before we get into the weekly schedule.
Major is something that you're going to go to after school practice on. Minor is something you're going to do during athletics. We don't need them to spend a lot of time. I don't need a kid that's going to play defense for 8 plays a game to spend half of his practice time that week on defense. We already know that he's going in on spots in certain situations, so need to make sure he just practices those spots and situations. Don't be over there the whole time. Same thing with a kid on offense. So being able to make sure that their time is well worth spent. But everything is a major and minor. Out of the 36 kids that are on varsity, probably 26 of those guys will have a major and a minor. There will be 10 onlys. They're normally O linemen and D linemen.
Okay. So your linebacker that has a major and a minor, Here's my biggest concern, I guess, is are any minors backup offensive linemen?
I'll have some backup offensive linemen will be an offensive minor.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. So you might have a D tackle who's a minor offensive lineman, but
Yes, sir.
he still can, because we're not running that much stuff. He can still function if he had to go into the game in the third quarter.
Yes, we're going to have one backup guard who only plays offense. We'll have one backup tackle who only plays tackle.
Love it.
We might not be the best way, but we can survive practice. We can get out of a game. We can get through some stuff. And then if an injury happened, the worst thing you can do is move that D tackle over to offense and try to teach him everything to get caught up and then wonder why you just lost the game because you're not prepared. As long as he can keep getting a little meat and potatoes along the way, so he's not trying to, even our backup offensive lineman, he don't even know what a strength call is at week 6 when we move him over there because we need some help on the D line.
Yeah. So you're going to do your O line like the NFL. I need 7 guys, 3 tackles, 3 guards, and a couple centers maybe. But bottom line is, I get what you're saying. So receivers and DBs are all major and minor.
Oh, there's a few of them. We got a few chicken craps out at wide receiver that can't go to play no DB.
Y'all had a receiver that just signed with Mississippi State. Was he a minor?
He majored. He was an offensive only kid all during the regular season. Never let him step on the field on defense until playoffs got there.
Okay, everybody good on major and minors? From 10:30 to 11:30 on Monday, we're going to lift weights 30 minutes. What is the JV doing while your varsity's lifting weights 30 minutes?
They're going through their walkthrough. They're getting a practice that they normally don't get where they don't have to worry about serving. They don't have to be a scout team. They're getting some attention.
And then when y'all flip, are they going to lift weights the last 30 minutes?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, makes sense. Varsity kid is going to lift from 10:30 to 11. We're going to meet for 15, go outside and walk through what we just met about. After school, how long is that practice?
An hour and 10 minutes, hour and 20 minutes.
Hour, 80-minute practice.
Yes.
Can you walk us through it?
It's going to be majors. Let's start out with some indie, get into some holes, get into some situations, and then some team, like just a lot of stinking reps.
Okay, so
that's all majors. I mean, there's no subbing. The offense is on the same side of the field every day. Every kid knows where to go. We don't switch. There's no moving parts. The JV offense is with us too. So we also have some JV kids that are only so we can plug in those JV kids during practice. If we do need a tackle or guard, I might have 9 varsity starters in team with 2 JV kids out there filling in. Makes those kids grow up real fast too.
I think this is important. I've said this before, but I got to go to an Alabama practice when they were practicing for the semifinal game against Cincinnati years ago, and they were at AT&T Stadium, and somehow I got to go. There was about 20 of us in the stands, and it was a real practice. It was like a Tuesday high school practice, and it was a symphony. Not one coach ever told a player where to go. And they were at AT&T Stadium, and it was just, I asked the coach who invited me, he was a DB coach, and he said it was because our practice never changes. Like that Tuesday practice. And so no one has to. One of my things I hated the most about practice was I was always yelling inside hole, like I was raising my hands. And not that hole moved that much, but at Alabama, nothing changed. I mean, not one coach was coaching anything but technique. He was not telling a kid. There wasn't one scout team D lineman who didn't know where to go with the O-line coach. So tell us about your organization, I guess, because you mentioned it, but how do you organize this where you're not coaching where to go?
I just think they need to go to the same spots every time. You know, that way you are coaching some technique. You're not having to, hey, y'all going down there today. Hey, y'all need, you just asked a JV kid who's 5'7", 240 pounds to waddle his ass all the way to the other end and waddle. No, we don't need you down here now. Y'all come back period 7, and takes him 10 more minutes to get down there. He just missed out on everything, and he's so dang tired he can't even function. You can't waste no time or any of that stuff where to go. Also, during on Monday while we're inside, half the field is dedicated to the kicker and snapper and holder, and those kids go out there for 30 minutes with a coach getting all the kicks and snaps and holds unlimited, and they're getting multiple reps.
During the school day, they're going out there and we've talked about this, your kickers generally don't, I mean, you're getting kids who don't really usually play football and they're just kickers.
I have
And
never seen a kicker after school.
that's what I was getting to. You don't like go work at Brookshire's, go whatever you got to do, but and your kickers are setting school records because you got a kid who wouldn't play otherwise.
Oh, no doubt.
So your
No doubt.
Monday practice,
I got a kid going in this year, and I think he has 330 points in his career.
wow, and he's coming back.
Yes.
He will practice while y'all are doing team meeting and all that. They're going to get half the field. He'll lift 30 and kick 30, and that's all he'll do.
Oh, no, he's not lifting. He don't want to lift. He's just going to kick.
Okay. So he's out there the hour?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he's out there.
Deep snapper, holder, kicker? Or,
Yes, sir. Yes,
so
sir.
you try to make it where your holders, it's not your backup quarterback?
I try to make it a holder is just a baseball kid who wants to be a part of it, don't want to come to practice after school, wants to be a holder, and he's just going to hold every day. That's it. He's not allowed to play offense, defense, nothing else, but he can be a holder. And so it gives that kicker somebody to have.
I think this is revolutionary, guys, and I love it. You've been there 8 years, so you got all this rolling, but if you could find your deep snapper, he's not coming after school either, or your short snapper. I mean,
Never seen them.
do you have a name for this crew? I think this is kind of funny. I'd want them to have their own T-shirt or something, the Three Amigos or something.
Yeah.
So we're not trying to find snappers from backup linemen, or we're not trying to get a 3 technique to short snap. We're going to find 3 kids. That's all they do, and they can go play baseball after school or do whatever they want to.
Correct.
That's cool.
Now those 3, you'd be surprised. You can take a kid that's average, but if all he does is get 150 snaps in every day, he gets way better than that JV 5'7", 240-pound kid who thinks he can deep snap. They get really good at it. It's all they do is deep snap.
How do you find these kids?
We set a trash can back there 7 yards and see if you can put it in there and keep doing it over and over. And
how do you recruit this?
You got those kids you enjoy being around. They stop by and say hello, and it comes time for football, and they're like, Coach, I think I'm just going to work. And I'm like, hey, man, would you be interested in being a deep snap? Oh, Coach, do I have to come after school? No, you know the rules. Oh, I'd love to do that, Coach. I just want to be a part of it, you know.
Yeah.
Every day during the period, they know there's a written rule. I don't care how much we're up by or down by. You're not playing nothing else. I'm not doing that. But
okay. Yeah.
If you want to be the deep snapper, then hell, and all my other kids, there ain't no hard feelings because ain't none of them want to do that crap, and ain't none of them want to go be the holder or the snapper and get the hell knocked out of them. So
if you ever had a snapper get injured and then you don't have a backup,
we'll work a backup. We'll get a few in that way.
Okay.
So
okay.
My center will still stay in the game for some punt situations and snap some. So he has to be able to do a little bit.
Okay.
If we're kicking field goals and stuff, we'll just sub it.
Okay. So I'm really glad I remembered to talk about that because I think the snapper holder kicker situation is very different than most people. And here's what I love. Josh just said, I'm an outside the box thinker. It's, man, like most people wouldn't do that because they'd be afraid of what other people think.
Coach, I had a kid that was such a turd 3 years ago. Couldn't stand him being at practice. Parents were influential in the community. He was just a cancer when he was around. He didn't practice hard. He didn't care, but he wanted to be out there around the guys. You couldn't make him quit. So I was like, hey, do you just want to go out there with those kickers? And he's like, I don't want to snap and I don't want to hold. I was like, well, you want to be on the front row of kickoff return and just field onside kicks? Every day during the period when that kicker would go out there, that kid would go out there with him and catch all the balls and carry them back down to the kicker.
Nice.
Well, yeah. We're in the second round of the playoffs and we come out after halftime. And I think it's Tig tries to kick an onside kick and kicked it at that deadgum kid who's already fielded 7,000 of these every day. All he done is field onsides for that kicker. Man, he scooped that thing up like a champ and fell down like it didn't bounce off his helmet or nothing. Like It was a great kick, but he done fielded 7,000 of those all year long. And, so it just shows that, it's a good thing to have,
I just love that you don't have an ego where it doesn't bother you. I think this is brilliant because I remember when I first got into Art Briles offense, the fast and wide stuff, if a receiver for fast and wide is on the other side of the field, we didn't let him just stand there like Briles, but we let him rest. And boy, that bothered me so much at first because I'm a let's do boot camp kind of guy. Once you get your brain into it, man, it's smart. Let him rest on the backside. It's okay, especially for you guys at small schools. It's smart. What if you could get some kids just to, and if you don't have an athletic period, just tell them you got to stay the first 45 minutes of practice and do your kicking. So when do they do team kicking or do they?
On Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, the first 15 minutes, we have a county fair special team. So JV extra points going on one end, varsity extra points going on the other end. At the same time in the middle of the field, varsity kickoff is going against JV return, all at the same time with 44 different kids.
Okay. So let's okay, I got to keep this chronological. So Monday, what is the first thing y'all are going to do after school? You're going to walk out onto the field, and after warm up, is it individual?
Yes, sir.
So majors, we're majors only. How long's individual?
15 minutes, probably.
Okay, what's after that?
Probably going to be some type of 7-on-7.
Okay.
You know,
So individual 7-on-7, O linemen are still doing down there.
they're doing their thing, and then we'll go into some holes, a run hole and pass hole, and then they're getting water nonstop. But then we're probably going to go back and repeat a 7-on-7,
Okay.
and then repeat a run hole and repeat a pass hole. Try to clean up whatever we didn't like, and then finish with some team.
Okay, so Indy,
I can't stand somebody having to stop the whole team practice to fix one offensive lineman.
yes.
All the other 10 kids just missed another rep because we're trying to get something fixed. So
Yeah.
I know that has to happen sometimes, but I think some of that stuff can be done before you get to team. You know, so if we go back to have another run hole and I'm like, hey, why didn't Jimmy go? The coach is like, oh, crap, I forgot to get him in there the last 7 plays. So the good thing is there's another run hole, another pass hole to clean some stuff up, to go back and get the right people if you didn't have them. Or maybe that first run hole, I mean, we had a JV running back in there. My varsity running back's getting taped up or something, you know. So I think having those a couple of holes in there is a good.
I love it. So it's Indy for 15, and then it's 2 run holes, 2 pass holes, and team.
Yes, sir.
Because we're doing this, guys. I know you guys that watch on YouTube can see this, but for guys listening, it's not the easiest thing in the world. So I'm going to make this as clear as I can. But how long are the holes?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Indy's 15. We got 10s, and teams about 10.
Yes.
And what about the coach who says, I need more time? What about the coach who, hey, I can't get this done?
Can do laundry after practice. They won't be up there longer.
Do you ever have a coach, or let's say it this way, what about a coach listening to this going, I think I want to do this, and he's with his staff, and 3 of his staff members are going to go, Coach, there's no way. I can't get it done in time. What would be your response if you were in that office?
I think the key is finding some O-line and D-line that can specialize and identify those kids that can do that. That helps you keep offensive practice going while defense is going on the other end. But if all your guys got to go the other end, you end up with a varsity practice on one side and a JV practice on the other.
Yeah.
I want JV kids to play their spots. We even major and minor those guys and only those kids as well.
I think everybody listening to this is going to relate to this. Those JV kids on Monday are getting 30 minutes by themselves. They're going to run their 4 plays all year. But at practice after school for that 80 minutes, they're cannon fodder, and they're getting better because they're going against varsity.
Anytime it's individual, they're hopping in and getting every rep with those varsity players. Anytime that's on air, they're hopping in and getting reps on air. Anytime there needs to be service, then they go to the other end of service.
Love it.
I think the key is breaking up the time that they're servicing. They can't go service an inside hole and then go straight into team. Like, it kills those guys forever. And then you wonder why some of those JV kids quit and they're getting beat up on. But if there's a way to give those JV kids a 5 or 10 minute break somewhere in between those service and calls that you need them for, like it helps a bunch.
Yeah.
It almost gives them an extra life. It rejuvenates
Yeah.
them. Like,
one of the most interesting things you said that I chuckled is, guys, if you send a 5'7", 240-pound kid down there to serve, and then you don't need him and send him back, there's a special place in hell for you, because that kid that's the worst day of his. He's not having a good day doing a 160-yard jog. So yeah, you got to be organized like that. So Tuesday, is there anything about Monday practice anybody listening has a question about? 2 holes. Run, 2 holes pass, Indian team. No kicking during that 80 minutes.
no,
Nope.
sir.
Because I kind of know this. Your kicking's always during the period because that's when you have your three
Yes.
amigos. I got to
Yes.
call them something. So yeah, you need to make those kids watch the Three Amigos movie with Steve Martin and Martin Short and those guys, and print them a T-shirt, and then they'll be famous. So Tuesday at 10:30, what are y'all doing?
Now we're on minor schedule. Minors are during the period. The first 15 minutes is county fair kicking game.
So we're going out. We're at 10:30. We're on
No.
the field.
We're rolling.
Okay.
Rolling out.
What are they wearing? Helmets and shorts or shoulder pads?
Shoulder pad and helmets every time
Okay.
we go outside.
Okay.
Yes.
So 10:30, we got minor individual.
Yes, sir. But it's not going to be very long because those minor kids, they better get the meat and potatoes, So
Yeah.
it's going to be really short minor and then hop right into some holes and team.
If a kid during a game, if you have to put a minor at safety, let's pretend y'all have 4 coverages, but a minor's got to go in and play at safety because of an injury. Does he have to know all 4 of those coverages? Maybe. Okay.
Or my coach knows that he's in there and he's only going to make sure that we only roll down to his side where he's always going down or something.
At 10:30 on Tuesday, when they have minor Indy, are they going to be exposed to as much as the majors?
They need to get the meat and potatoes of it. The individual is really just going to be a quick warm up, and then we're going into team. It's some type of drill that's going to help them, but man, they're not fisting to go over there and do 3 warm up stations and do all this back pedal stuff. And then we get over to team and the kid don't even know the damn coverage, don't know where to line up, can't check the call. Like, I don't care if in the warm-up period, if you sit there and say, hey, guys, whenever you get trips right here and number 27 is the number 2 receiver, we're going to check this coverage right here, make sure y'all get this call today. You're about to see it in whole. That's the stuff that's more important to me than any of those backpedaling stations. Some of those coaches can be, man, they're drill masters, man. They can make sure that stuff looks really good, and then their kids get over the team and they don't know crap.
Yeah.
And I would rather them have the knowledge and the awareness to make sure that all that stuff's on point.
Are y'all using a segment timer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is warm up 5 minutes then?
No, we just call it Indy. Do what you want in Indy to get your kids warmed up to perform in team.
How long's Indy last?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay. So after 5-minute Indy, what's next?
Probably going straight into team.
Okay. So
with the minor kids.
Minor team. And so would it be, are we on, so our defensive minors, are we split? I'm trying to.
Yeah, it's split. So the kids that didn't get to practice it on Monday during the period on Tuesday, we have offensive only kids and offensive minors, which is going to be the defensive major kids are fixing to come, and we're fixing to switch some kids up on Tuesday during the period. Whenever you do this, you need to make sure you count them all up and make sure that when you do these switches that you're going to have enough DBs, enough wide receivers. You can't put all the receivers as minors and vice versa. You end up with you need to make sure that you count it to where it's halfway equal. We got 36 kids, 3 of the Migos don't count. We're down to 33. You can have an 18 and 15. You can have a 19, 14 and still survive because you still got JV kids to mix in. So don't be afraid that if you only got 9 varsity players out there and you have to have 2 JV kids to make it all work, that's okay. And those other 2 kids are fisting to get some totem pole points with those varsity players when they're able to get out there and step up and hoop and holler with them, and they feel wanted and feel a part of that, and they're just not a JV player because you're out there. And we line up on barrels a bunch. Being able to line up too many times, you're down there at defensive practice, and you got 11 varsity players, And then you got 6 or 7 backups sitting out over there. And then you got 11 more JV defensive players, and they're having to run an offense with motion. And their coach just stays madder than hell. The kids can't read the card. That kid ain't never played offense, never going to, and he don't have a clue what Jets – he don't have a clue about none of it. And you waste more time. If they need to be served, we're sending a group down there. And he just tells my coach, hey, man, just give us every form of jet sweep that you ever play action. I don't care what we do, power read, whatever you want to do. And we're good. My JV coach will take them down there and do that for them. But at that same time, I got to bring the JV defense down there to serve the varsity. So we need to make sure that our times always coincide with, if you're going to give something up, you have to bring something back to be served. Once you get all that, though, it runs pretty smooth.
I just want to make sure everybody gets it because my brain kind of messed up there. When we're doing minor practice, we still have 2 groups. So offense is always on this side, defense is always on this side. And y'all don't ever really come together and do good on good, or do you?
The last 5 minutes on Tuesday after minors, we will go best on best. We have a best on best and a good on good, depending on, is it major versus majors, or are you using your minors to go against their minors? That's our good on good. Best on best is the majors going against majors. We'll try to mix in some good on good and best on best.
So we got 5 minutes of Indy. How long is minor team?
That team's probably, we got 15 minutes special teams, 5 minutes there. So then we have 35 minutes a team.
Okay. When were the special teams? 5 minutes of Indy.
15 special teams, 5 minutes warm up, 5 minutes Indy, and 35 minutes a team.
Okay. So the very first thing we're doing at 10:35 or whenever we get out there is
my varsity kickoff team coach is hollering at the fence when those kids are coming out of the field house. They know it's up. We're fixing to kick off. My kickers know they got to sprint out there if they even want a chance to stretch and warm up a second, because it's going off.
Kickoff is, we're going to do special teams for 15 minutes. Everybody can do special teams how you want to, but that's the time those 3 amigos get to work with everybody.
But what people don't realize is when we time that 15 minutes, we will get over 80 kicks.
Explain to us again how you have it organized. You said it a while ago.
Because on one end, I got JV extra point going. On the other end, I got varsity. Wherever the kickoff team is, that's where the varsity field goal extra point, so they can move around, get hash to hash, back it up. The JV, I don't care if they ever kick a field goal. I just want them to kick extra points. We're just trying to train another snapper, another holder, another kicker. We're just trying to get that in the game. We actually make them snap it from under the goalpost where they're not off return.
They're not really in the field, are they?
They're kicking from the goal line on their extra points. We just want the ball. Can they just get it up in the air and get over the goalpost? And if they can do it from right there, when you back them up 7, it gets easier. So they got to get the ball up. But we have kickoff return and kickoff team going at the same time. And then after 7.5 minutes, we'll switch that and go JV kickoff, varsity return, and the extra points on both ends never move. They're still rapid firing. And so that might be the time you lose the JV kicker off the extra point. He's running to do kickoff now. And now Fat Timmy gets to go down there and hang out with Coach Porter, and Coach Porter's betting him a Dr. Pepper that he can't make the field goal. And it's a good little time, the last 7 minutes, of that, and vice versa. Or Coach Porter's down there with a varsity field goal team, and the kicker had to move because so we either got a backup kicker trying it, or Coach Porter's showing them boys how to topo one, But it's a good time, depending on which part of it is. But, man, we're getting 80 kicks in 15 minutes.
So your varsity field goal team is going for 15 minutes.
Yes.
That's fascinating to me.
I have a coach with a timer, and he spots the ball, and then he starts going 11, 10, 9, 8, and they have to sprint over to that ball and get the snap real quick, no steps, no nothing. And as they're kicking that one, he's walking somewhere else on the field and spotting the ball. So those kids are moving nonstop. And I'm just talking about moving from the left hash to the right hash on the 10.
Yeah.
Then we might back up 5 yards and count down. So our kids are used to the pressure. They're used to the clock. They don't care about the numbers. My kicker don't have to have the most perfect steps. He can go out there and do it, so he don't make excuses, and they do that.
So is there a defense going? Are they blocking?
Anybody? You got a kickoff team and a kickoff return team, so that's where all the athletes are at.
Okay, so that was my next question. If you're on the varsity field goal team, that means you're probably not on varsity kickoff or kickoff return.
You're not.
You're not. There's no to it.
No.
I love this stuff. When y'all meet as a staff, What are you personnel first? Like who gets their first choice of the kids? Because somebody's going to want a wing back or somebody that could also be good on kickoff return.
What are you going to do with the wing back? What's he going to do on extra point?
Hopefully take care of that gap between him and the tight end.
Oh, then put a lineman there to do it. Let him block it.
So you don't care if it's number 59. We're not going to worry about faking.
Not if you want him to catch, then we'll sub for that. But if you
Yeah.
want him to block, put a blocker there. That kid has nothing to do for 15 minutes otherwise, or otherwise you got to hold a field down here. So heck, if you got 11 fatties that can't do nothing else, then
Yes, coach.
but let them block. But really, all it is 7, Randy, because you got the snapper and you got the 3 amigos, so you just need 8 other guys to cut with. So you still got your 5 offensive linemen. So now you got to fill in with 3 fatties. We just let those guys block, And then the other guys that are on varsity, and if you're not on a special team right there, or you're rushing a gap over there, you're doing some stuff over there. My guys, the kickoff returners, are lined up back behind the goalpost, and they are catching all those balls as they're coming through the field goals. When it's their turn to go rotate in at kickoff return, they've already caught balls.
Yeah, I love it.
It's just a bunch of balls in the air at one time, a bunch of reps in a short amount of time.
Your minors, when this is over with, are going to go to Indy, and then they're going to get 35 minutes a team.
Yes.
That's enough. Honestly, 35 minutes a team for your backups. That's pretty good.
But you got to remember, on Monday, they didn't get anything.
Yeah. After school, what's happening at 4 o'clock?
Going back to majors with some Indy, going through some holes again, and then back to team. It's going to be an hour and 10 minutes long on Tuesday.
2 run holes and 2 pass holes again?
Maybe shortened down.
Yeah.
Maybe a 15-minute 15, and then maybe a 5 and a 5 or a 10 and a 10 with some team. I just feel like you can get a lot of stuff fixed and coached when you're split up.
I like the 2 holes because that second hole is going to look a million times better.
Yes.
I like how
it really looks good is when you go to team after the second hole.
Yes.
You don't have to. I'm not stopping something. You want to go fast. Ain't nothing pissing me off worse than we're in a rhythm trying to go fast, and the O-line coach wants to go up there and show the guard. He needs to get with his shoulder real quick. We can fix that shit later. Should already had that done on the 2 holes. Let's go run as many plays as we can. Go, go, go.
So team is really fast, and you cannot stop the drill to coach. In hole, what is the tempo for hole?
5.
Okay, so you can coach a little in hole.
Let's get it fixed. Let's get it right. Let's coach it up.
How many plays in a 10-minute hole are y'all getting?
Oh, man. Trying to get one off every 25 seconds.
Okay, so that's what I was thinking. You're probably getting 20 plays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, it's funny. Y'all are separate, right? You're separate. Even in pass hole. Okay, I'm still wrapping my brain around this. When we got defensive pass hole, the starting receivers aren't serving those guys.
No, that's the JV offense.
All right. I think, y'all, I've heard this before, and I'm still.
But I got a JV offense serving the varsity DBs. But so on the other end, I'm going to have JV defensive backs serving my varsity offense. But that's where you got to make sure that when you have those majors and minors, and here's what you do. You might have to go in after this week and you have a banged up kid on JV. Hey, we need to move Johnny over to a major here and move this one to a minor. We don't have enough at practice time when we split right there.
Yeah.
It might change week to week, day to day. Right now, going into the year, I got 4 wide receivers, and as long as 2 of them go to defense, my coaches are happy. I don't care which 2, don't care how to, don't care. I just need 2 of them to go down there when we go minors.
Okay. Yeah. So have y'all already met? Y'all already know what your majors and minors are?
Yes, sir.
Probably figure that out in the spring. Wednesday at 10:30, what's happening?
Kicking, the exact same Tuesday practice during the period. It's the exact same.
Which was 15 kicking, 5
kicking, 5 Indy, back to 30 minutes of team, and then you have the good on good.
Is your minors still getting 30 minutes of team on Wednesday?
Yes.
Okay. And so, heck, fellas, like, I don't know if I ever got my backup 60 minutes of practice a week. Honestly, they're getting 7. They're getting 5 of Indy and 30 a team. And then you said the last 5's good on good to end on something.
We call the minor on minors is the good on good,
Okay. So the last 5 minutes is still minor emphasis.
Yes.
Okay.
After school, we will start practice with best on best. We start it with 5 minutes of JV team. 5 minutes, they get 5 minutes. Varsity stretching and getting ready to go, and then the varsity gets 5 minutes of team. Varsity O versus varsity D. Try to get practice going, get some energy flowing, get some kids out of a funk. It's hotter than shit after school. Get them kids going and just to start practice off that way. So that works really well. Gets the momentum going. It's really helped us out to get practice going. It costs you 10 minutes, but it's the only time you're getting live reps versus kids your age versus, varsity on varsity. And that's what we call best on best.
Yeah. Somebody smart told me this one time, but skill equals quality reps times reps. And so skill equals quality reps times reps, which means you got to go good on good some or best on best. You got to go you're good against your good if you're going to get quality reps. And so after that 10 minutes, what's happening?
Going to Indy. We probably need to get away from each other. There's some tempers flared up in that 5 minutes, get back, split up. During those last 5 minutes, when it's 7-on-7, good on good, the O-line and D-line JV is doing some pass rushing, and on the other end, the D-line on varsity and O-line is getting some pass rushing, and they're trying to get to a dummy and stuff. So it's a little competition there on the last 5 minutes.
Okay. So Indy, Monday's practice is 80 minutes. Tuesday's practice is 75?
70.
70. How long is Wednesday's practice after school?
An hour.
60 minutes. So 80, 70, 60. Is it the same structure, just shorter times? Is it Indy, 2 holes, and team?
Yes.
So every day is Indy, 2 holes, and team. It just matters how long they are.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else about Wednesday that I'm not talking?
We don't have enough time to go 2 holes on Wednesday, so we're going to hit a hole and go right in the team.
Okay. On Wednesday, it's 1 hole.
Yes, sir.
So it's 1 pass hole, 1 run hole.
Everything should be coached up, Now, we do have a short practice, but what people don't realize is on Monday and Tuesday after practice, Monday is offensive meetings after practice for 30 minutes. We're going to meet, we're going to feed them, eat supper together, and we're going to go over anything that needs to be go over with the offensive guys. On Tuesday night and so on Monday, as soon as we walk in, my defensive staff, they're hauling butt out of the parking lot.
Really?
Offensive guys are going to lock the field house down, going to do the laundry, going to have meetings, feed. We'll take care of all that. On Tuesday night is defensive meetings after practice. They're taking care of all that. My offensive guys are trying to go home to eat supper with their wives.
Coaches, please hear this, that you don't have to feel guilty if you don't sit up there for 3 hours after practice. Thursday, Coach, what's happening Thursday at 10:30? What's happening Wednesday after practice? Anybody meeting?
Nothing.
Okay.
I mean, we're out of there at 5 o'clock.
Now, on these meetings after practice, are major and minors both going to offense and defense?
Yes, sir. If you play offense, you're going to a meeting.
When is it that you feed the JV scout team kids?
So every day at the end of practice, we get these stickers out, and we're trying to honor those kids. And my coaches are trying to make it a big deal. Those kids, I let the kids pick out the helmet stickers. I just ordered $1,500 worth of decals, all kinds of stupid stuff that they want, but you
let them pick them.
I let the council pick them. We finally got a leadership council about 2 months ago.
Good job.
Yeah, I'm moving up.
Yeah.
But they picked them out, but I've always had them, but they picked some out. But we try to award those POD stickers, and we try to give out Gatorades or give out anything, popsicles, Little Debbie, snack cakes to those guys. Always trying to take care of those guys.
How does one get a Little Debbie after practice? You're a JV scout team kid?
Oh, I'm going, hey, does anybody got any players of the day? And Coach Ben's going to raise his hand and say, I got one. He goes, man, Johnny never took one break out of inside hole today. He stayed in there and got after it. He got us better today. He never took a play off the entire inside hole. So I think what you're recognizing in front of everybody, you're promoting. And if you're not willing to recognize and promote it, then why the hell would Johnny not take a break the next day? Or why would the next kid try to get every rep? So I think you got to promote those things that you like and talk about the things that you want. You know, their idea of a dog and my idea of a dog, man, we're on two different page links. We're not on the same page, I figured out. Like I thought we were on the same page on some stuff, but we are not. They don't quite get it. So I think you have to celebrate those things and promote those things.
Dude, this is a great podcast. There's some good stuff coming down out of this podcast that's going to help a bunch of coaches.
I might go to the next coach and be like, hey, Coach Herman, you got him? Hey, oh, yeah, Coach. Man, you should have seen little Johnny. Man, he batted this ball down in the secondary on us. Man, we had a touchdown made, and he batted it down. But probably the reason he gave it to that kid is that kid's already given up 7 touchdowns in pass hole. And he just kept battling and battling and battling. And I was going to recognize him being tenacious, not being a quitter, and being a little girl. And, man, he batted that last one down on us, So I just think you can just recognize those kids. It takes 10 seconds. Every coach gets to recognize a kid every day.
And they'll remember it forever.
No, Coach, that kid is waiting for you at the coach's office in his helmet and shoulder pads, sweat dripping all in there, puddle of shit in the floor. And he's like, Coach, where's my sticker?
Yes.
I got to make sure there's a coach on sticker duty right after practice every day. He's hauling butt in there to be the sticker man. And those kids are picked. I'm like, just grab one. They're like, no, Coach, I want the airplane. I'm like, gotta be kidding me. That's all it took was a 25-cent airplane.
Coach, you get a better ROI than helmet stickers.
No.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Thursday at 10:30, what's happening?
Kicking game again. Same kicking game.
15 minutes.
Yep. I don't care if it's JV game day. It don't matter to me. They're still doing the same thing. We're going to rock and roll. But after that special teams is over right there, JV is going to one end, and they're doing their thing. Varsity is going to the other end, and we're going to get 20 minutes of majors. And so the minors are going to serve them, and then 20 minutes of minors, and then they're going to serve each other.
Okay. Offense and defense are separate.
No, JV is separate. JV's
Okay.
on the other end. Varsity's on one end.
Okay. After kicking, we got major offense. Tell you the DC, we need guys to serve us.
Can you just line up out there
Okay.
and this,
Varsity's going to get 20 minutes a team. Varsity defense is going to get 20 minutes a team, but we're all together.
That's the hardest day of practice because I'm fixing to have some guys play a spot they ain't played, read a card they ain't read. That's the hardest 20 minutes.
And are they coming back after school?
They come back after school. All the skill players that have been running all week, those guys are taking a test on paper. They have to draw every formation. They got to draw the plays out. It's got numbers, hashes on it. The first week of the year, Coach, they cannot draw an X and O. They can't do anything. It's horrible, horrendous. Everybody's offsides. They don't understand. And they turn it into me. I just put red marker on it, give it back to them, and they stay there until they make 100. I don't care if you go copy off a Porter's paper. I don't care. You're going to get it right before you leave. We make those guys draw the stuff that's pertinent that week, whether it's coverages or whether it's the routes or whether it's a trick play. Have this drawn up, and they don't ever forget the trick plays they name. They'll forget how to run power, but they'll know how to run daggum taco reverse.
Yeah, if you let them name it.
If you let them name it, they got it. So
yeah,
all the linebackers and the D-line, O-line, they're getting a pump in after school on Thursday.
Okay.
Don't have enough guys on Thursday to coach up varsity practice. I got junior high games starting at 4:15 on the field. So we try to use our time wisely, not have any meetings during the period. We'll go out and do football during the period. After school, I can just have 2 coaches, one run the weight room, one run the meeting room, and take care of it that way. So all my varsity coaches all have a baby to take care of, whether it's 7th, 8th, JV B team or 9th grade. It's really a JV B team. We don't have a 9th grade team. It's a B team squad. And every one of those have their offensive coordinator. Same on defense. All those guys have it. They're the defensive coordinator of a group somewhere.
We talked about this yesterday. It was awesome. So I want to make sure you guys get this. Every varsity offensive coach at Winnsboro is going to be an offensive coordinator for a team.
Yes, sir.
Whether it's JV, freshman, JVB, 8th, or 7th. So your 7th graders might have your receiver coach has been there 5 years calling plays.
Yes.
It's awesome. And, of course, opposite with the defense.
Yes, sir.
If a coach is a 7th grade OC the next year, does he stay 7th grade OC or do you move him around?
I move him up with the grade.
So they just stay with their group? Oh, that's perfect.
So he'll go from 7th grade to 8th grade to the 9th grade, and we'll switch it back over. If I have a coach with a kid, then I'm going to put him with his kid, and he follows his kid up.
Yeah, I love that ownership. Yesterday I asked all these questions, but you've got a middle school coordinator who is responsible for handling the principal and answering questions. And so these guys, your varsity receiver coach, he's might be the seventh grade OC, but he's not having to do seventh grade check and he's not having to do the hard stuff.
Correct.
Yeah.
On Fridays, our sub varsities do a Raider Maker, and it's a 40 station circuit after game day. And then if they have a good Raider Maker lift, then they get to go watch film. And then my coaches will have snacks, donuts, but they're going to hit Raider Maker and go watch film. The varsity's going outside, and we have an 80 play script. And whether it's defense, offense, whatever, we're bouncing around. I don't want to do a whole bunch of offense and then a whole bunch of defense. Like, it's going to be scripted just like a game would be scripted, with different stuff from hashes and different stuff. So we're going to get 80 plays in that 60 minutes.
Man, how long do y'all go out for pregame? Tell us, if you have a 7 p.m. game, when are you going out for pregame? Give us 2 minutes of your pregame.
My kickers are going out at 5:45. Quarterback's going out at 5:45. All the other guys come out and join them at 6, and at 6:15 we're off the field.
Okay, they're going to be in for 45 minutes.
Yeah, like
before the game.
we're not going to spend hardly any time doing nothing outside. I mean,
because people in Texas, fat kids in Texas can lose 4 pounds in warm-ups.
Yeah.
So you're going to go out early, but bring them in early. So senior night, none of that matters to you because you're used to bringing them in early anyway. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Guys, thanks for being here. This wasn't one of those where I had a whole bunch of people give input because Coach Finney's, his brain works a little different, and it's amazing. From Little Debbie snack cakes to helmet stickers, there's just something you can get out of this if you're paying attention. Josh, I appreciate you, buddy. I'm going to be at Houston, the Texas High School Coaches Convention. I'm going to release this probably sometime around then. Josh, you're going to be speaking. Congratulations on that, man. A lot of people don't get to speak at THSCA, so congrats on that.
They're going to be disappointed.
What day are you speaking?
Monday.
What time?
12 o'clock.
Monday at noon. Okay. Well, congrats, because that is a bucket list kind of thing to get asked to speak at coaching school, and I'm happy.
Or everybody else turned them down, and I was the last choice.
I doubt it. Well, you got us better today. This was awesome. This was exactly what I want this podcast to be about, to serve coaches and give you a couple ideas you can use. So,
and I'll just tell, while you guys are on there, guys, we've only done one scrimmage the last 7 years, and the reason being is you used to get 2 scrimmages. That was back in the 60s when you weren't allowed to do any football. Porter's done more football this week than any team did in 1973. And so I don't think that you need 2 scrimmages. All it is a chance to risk injury. You already know which kids can play, which kids are good, which kids are bad. You've already done so much ball by now. So there's no sense in going out and hurting and putting your best, like, you just need to get the damn guys to the game and not even risk it. We do the first scrimmage. We run 15 plays in the scrimmage. And when I'm playing I believe the first game is the most important game of the year. Man, you can go out there and have a real bad showing and give everybody the bad blues, or you can go out there and dominate. And I just know when you're able to, you don't put a bunch of plays on film. It's hard for somebody to get ready for you. You're able to start the season off with a bang. Saturdays, we don't work Saturdays, not one single Saturday. I used to. And then this coach had to go to watch this kid's game, and this one go watch this one. And next thing you knew, I was the only one up there working all day long, and they would just come in there for a little bit. Once games became out of town, they get there a little later. I was like, the heck with it. We'd send an online questionnaire everybody fills out before Saturday night at 8 o'clock so you can read it. And everybody's got a little scouting report, and that's worked out great. Even the first Saturday of the season on August the 10th or the 11th, some of you guys are going to be up on the field on Saturday. We're not going to do it. Like,
Coach, if I live to be 100, I'll remember how I felt that first week of practice where we went 6 days in a row. So you're not going to go 6 days in a row week 1.
No, week 2. I ain't going to be up there.
Just not doing it.
I don't bring the kids up on Saturdays.
Yeah. What do y'all work on Sunday?
Probably 2 until the job is done.
Okay.
We try to eat dinner together at 5 o'clock.
Mhm.
The coaches do. So
Okay.
we'll be there from 2 to 5, but sometimes we got to go back here and punch a clock after 5 to get everything just right.
Yeah.
But we're sorting out majors and minors for the week. We're sorting out all that stuff that has to be.
Logistics, where's seventh grade playing, all that
We got a
stuff.
damn fall break this year where we're out of school for a week. We've never had one, so it's going to be a cluster. We got off this day of practice, and y'all can say what you want to, but some of them JV kids are still going to miss on whatever holiday that is on Monday.
Labor Day, they're going to miss.
Labor Day, yeah. Better figure out, go ahead and start talking about it right now. At least you just have 4 missing instead of 14.
Yeah. Well,
I think that's whenever parent schedules a vacation.
I know.
For a
Anybody
JV
got
kid.
a question for Josh? Even something we didn't go over?
Josh, I had a question. I've been calling a couple of mentors of mine as we're trying to get our fall camp schedule down. We've got quite a few players, so we're working 1 through 6s. We have 2 challenges organizing how to get 6 different groups reps. But the question I was asking my staff and I'm calling people is your starters in a fall camp scenario where you're banging and you're trying to get work in, not an in-season scenario, not scout. We're talking fall camp. How many 11 on 11 plus inside, how many game physical reps do you want your starters to walk off the field in a single practice? How many 11 on 11 reps plus inside are you looking to try to get? Hey, if they get 12 good team reps, that's a good practice plus endo, or is it 20? Is it 30? How many reps do you want your starting offensive lineman to get in a single practice in physical 11 on 11 matchups?
Oh, we're trying to get 0. Here's why. I got a defensive end that's a freak. Like, he can never tackle a JV kid. He's going to kill somebody. I mean, he can't do that, you know.
Okay. How many 11 on 11 reps are you getting when y'all are doing your looks then? How many?
When we go good on good and best on best, and we're still thudding up, we're still not teeing off. My guys know that, my varsity guys know a JV receiver coming off middle, like, coach, he won't play on Friday if he takes one of their heads off. Like, I'm not going to let him tee off on a JV kid. Like, we're not going to do that to each other. They know that. We're not peeling back on none of that stuff on the returns, and we're thudding up. And I know that's kind of tough to do. And when are you going to get ready if you don't? But you're really just trying to figure out which dudes can go. You don't need that transfer from SFA to figure out if he can play for you or not. Hell, you already knew he could play. That's why you got him.
Y'all's kids are only going majors, like your starting 11 offense versus your starting 11 defense is 5 minutes on Wednesday. That's
Yes,
it.
sir. Start practice.
Yeah.
And we're still not taking them to the ground.
Yeah. It's get your urine warm. Let's roll.
Hey, Ben, one thing I didn't say is we got an athletic period. Anybody that's a drill killer for JV and varsity, if they're a JVB team, we don't even let them practice with them. So, like, this is a bunch of dudes that can go. There is no drill killers out here. They can all function in a setting. I have a different athletic period for those kids that aren't quite up to speed. So, like, I might take some of those 5th and 6th stringers and let them go scrimmage on another field. Get them out of the way unless you think they can hop in there. And if they do really well, let them come over and practice it one day a week. But I would remove some of those kids. I mean, hell, all those kids just signed up. And they don't care what team they're on, guys. They just want to play ball. They do not want to stand on the sideline and watch. So if you can find them somewhere to play ball, they're happy.
So, y'all, most of these podcasts are like coaches' office conversations, but I think practice is just so different. I really couldn't ask Brian and Ryan and Ben, how do y'all do at practice? Because this thing is, this is unconventional. Guys, thank you for joining us today. Coach Finney had to run with an emergency, of course, because the season's coming up, and so all you guys get that. But one thing he did tell me that I want to make sure that I talk about is you need about 44 players to do this practice. And if you have less than that, I'm sure you can tweak it. But if you're thinking, I don't have the numbers for this, then think about it. If you start practicing for no more than 80 minutes at a time, then your numbers are going to go up. You'll start increasing desire for kids to want to play, because a lot of kids want to be a part of something. They love coaches, they all that stuff, but they don't want to be out there 2.5 hours after school. And I get it. So think about the things you can use of this. Find ways to have them on the field less, and your numbers will go up. Thanks again, Coach Finney. It was awesome. You guys come see me at booth 1311, and I'll see you soon on the podcast.